Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel and back to another urban calisthenics workout. In today's session, we've got for you a full body calisthenics routine. We'll be doing 5 exercises for 60 seconds of work, non-stop, so that's no rest, for 3 rounds, that's 15 minutes in total. Now what's important to know is that each of the exercises that you'll be doing is followed by a squat. And 4 out of the 5 exercises involves working on both sides. And the beauty of this routine is that no equipment will be needed, just a small space to work in. And as always, get a good warm up before starting this routine. Check out those instructionals, please get a good preparation on those as well. And as this routine has no official rest, I want you to work at a sustainable pace that works for you whilst keeping your form at a high level. That's enough from me, let's see what's in store. So for the tadpole, this is essentially a combination of a squat and a dive bomb push-up. So you're going to start by moving into your squat position. Once you've reached your end range, you're going to reach forwards with your hands, creating around about a 45-degree angle between your hands and your shoulders. At which point you're going to keep your hips high. You can keep your legs soft or even lock the knees out if you wish, but make sure you keep your hips relatively high. So you're going to be looking through your legs, and then from this position, I'm going to start taking the head towards the floor, just in front of the hands. As the head comes into the floor, I'm going to start to look forwards, driving the chest into the floor and simultaneously sliding the feet away from the hips, keeping the hips at the lowest point here. From here, you're going to hop back into your squat position, make your way to standing, and then repeat. So squatting down, reaching forwards, sending the hips up, looking through the legs. Moving the head out in front of the hands, but turning the arms into the body, head comes into the floor. Start lifting the head up, drive the chest down, and then slide the feet back. You also have the option of hopping the feet back if you want to. Moving back into your squat position, and go again. Okay, so for the sit through, we're going to start you off in a quad position. We're going to have a small gap between the hand and the knee. We want the shoulders to remain over the top of the hands at all times. I'm going to release the knees from the floor, and my intention is to bring the right leg across to the left side. So I'm going to begin by rotating the body, releasing the hand, extending the leg. As I extend the leg, I want to keep this hip relatively close to this supporting hand, keeping the shoulder down at all times. I then initiate with the hand, and shortly after, the leg will make its way through. Doing the same on the opposite side. So rotating, extending the leg, keeping the shoulder down, initiate with the hand, and the leg moves shortly after. So for the sit-through climb, this is just an extension of the sit-through. The only 2 additions to this move are the leg sweep and the finishing position, which is the mountain climber. So as we set up in the quad position, in preparation for the sit-through, we bring the leg across the body. Now what we're going to do from this position, the intention would be to bring this straight leg underneath this bent leg. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring our hand to the floor and simultaneously swing this leg all the way around until we get to around about 90 degrees, and then we're going to finish in our mountain climber. So as I bring the hand to the floor, I'm sweeping the leg. There's the mountain climber. See how the knee just sits to the outside of the arm. Now to get to the opposite side, I have to do a mountain climber switch, making sure we don't step up too high with that bent leg. We bring that straight leg all the way up and across, brings us back into our sit through, and we repeat the same on the opposite side. So watch how I bring the hand to the floor, sweep the leg, keeping it as straight as possible, driving the hips to the floor, switch to the other side on the mountain climber, bring that leg across, and then repeat. It's important that we turn our hips to the floor as quickly as possible as we sweep the leg. So for the head pass, you're going to start yourself off in a resting squat position, or the deepest squat you can move into whilst keeping your heels in contact with the floor. From here, I'm going to place one hand to the side of the body, making sure the fingers are pointing back. With the second hand, I'm going to reach across to get to around about shoulder width. And then from here, you're essentially going to be doing a pike press. So I'm going to release this back foot, pivot on the supporting foot and keep the hips as high as possible. I'm going to take the head out in front of the hands, so I'm forming a triangle between the head and the hands, placing the head on the floor if possible, or you can fall short if you feel like you don't have the strength for that right now. And then I'm going to move back into the squat position and then repeat on the opposite side. So hand to the side, reach across with the second hand, release the back foot, pivot on the supporting foot, take the head forwards, make sure the forearms are in an upright position, push out strong, and then move back into the squat position. You can also use props such as yoga blocks if you find that you don't have the strength to take the head to the floor. So you can stack up 1 or 2 yoga blocks and use that as a point of reference. For the pike press squat, you're going to start off in a resting squat position, or your deepest squat that you can move into whilst keeping the heels in contact with the floor. From here, you're going to place the hands out in front of the feet, sending the hips up as high as possible and locking out the knees. If you can't lock out the knees, you'll simply take the hands that little bit more forwards until you can. From here, the intention will be to bend the arms, bringing the head out in front of the hands, looking through the legs and bringing the crown of the head in contact with the floor. From here, you're going to press out strong, drive your weight back into your heels and move back down into your resting squat position. So if this is too challenging, you can take something such as a yoga block, so you're essentially traveling less distance when doing the press. So for our squat to pro, we're going to start by moving into our deepest squat, keeping the weight on the heels. From here, we're going to think about weight shifting to one side, and as we do so, that hip will start to make its way up slightly. Now I'm going to focus on the other leg, and I'm going to lean to the side, keeping the chest in an upright position, extending that leg. Once the foot gets to the floor, I'm going to slide it back in, drop down into the resting squat, and do the same on the opposite side. So starting in a squat position, we're simply going to take one knee to the floor, getting the knee pretty much to the same line as the heel on the opposite side. We simply bring the second knee down to the floor. The last foot down is the first foot up. We step forwards, forwards again, we're back into our squat position. We do the same on the opposite side. Every time we land that squat position, I want you to make sure that you get your hips pretty much level to the knees or even slightly below. Make sure that every time we hit that squat position, we keep the chest nice and high. So I want you to avoid slumping forwards like this. So nice and high with the ribs. Thanks so much for joining me in this calisthenics workout. I hope you had a great time challenging yourself and breaking a sweat. If you did find this workout useful and beneficial, please give me a like. Keep up the great work, stay motivated, and I'll see you on the next workout.